we come into this, the two, in Genesis, the two become one. And, all of a sudden we're trying to figure this out. We're trying to figure out, we've shared so much how we're so different. Our communication styles are different. I think personalities are different. So it's continuing to be a lifelong learner and continuing to learn these fundamentals. This is Ryan and Michelle, and welcome to the Celebrate Marriagecast, where we hope to restore and reclaim godly marriages through honest and real conversations.
Welcome to our listeners. Welcome to episode 103. 103. Ryan, I wore a rock t-shirt today as a little nod to a former life, probably around 20 years ago. I was a DJ, a rock DJ for a station that was 103.7. Real rock. And I feel like it's so full circle and redeeming to God that what I had as a gift that I used before and wasn't living for God, wasn't living for Jesus, is now come full circle, and here I am.
Yeah.
Mic, headphones, 103. Real Jesus, 103.7, the Marriagecast. Keep on rocking. Welcome to our show today, you guys. So glad to have you with us. And there we go. You guys know that now. I was a DJ on a rock radio station for 8 years. Yeah. Weekend DJ. Had a request show. Live Friday night requests. So fun. Oh, yeah. So fun. Ryan, I'm excited for our show today.
Yes, very excited.
What are we talking about?
So, Michelle, to get started here, I don't know if you knew this, the Little League World Series just wrapped up.
That's a big deal.
I know. And shout out to the team from Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Woo woo.
I think they were only the second team ever to win their first game at the Little League World Series.
Amazing. So much
really
talent
cool.
at such a young age.
I mean, they did get beat, but still, it's a really, really cool accomplishment. But, thinking about it, it reminds me of what my coaches told me, like when I was in Little League. They all said the same thing because I had this really bad habit, right? So they all told me the same exact thing. They said, Ryan, stop swinging for the fences. And what that means, you guys, really any sport I play,
just go big or go home, right?
I just whether it's baseball. So baseball, there was something about like this ball sitting on the tee or somebody throwing it to me that I would literally swing as hard as I possibly could.
To win.
Like that.
I can see little Ryan doing that.
Yes, I would get up to the plate.
How old were you? Little League?
I don't know, whatever you are.
Thomas's
10,
age?
probably.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. And I would literally just try to swing as hard as I could. Like that carried with me like to golf. I'm a terrible golfer because I see that little ball, I have a club in my hand, and I'm going to swing as hard as I possibly can.
I do that, and when you miss, it hurts really bad.
Yes.
Like, hurts the back.
Right.
Okay, so stop swinging for the fence, right?
Right. So that's what they would tell me over and over again. Because you see, the thing I didn't understand at the time is my coaches wanted me to learn the fundamentals of hitting a baseball.
Okay.
And I was thinking about this, Michelle, as I was thinking about this Little League World Series. And I think, how often do we do this same exact thing in our marriages, right? We get up to the plate and we just swing for the fences. And, trying to hit that home run every single time. But in the end, we just keep striking out. See, it really comes down to knowing the basics and knowing the fundamentals before you could ever try to hit a home run.
Back to basics. Welcome to our show, you guys.
Yes. Back to basics. Yes.
Actually thinking we could do the back, like some Back in Black, but back to basics for the rock theme.
Yeah.
So we're going back to basics. Ryan, I love that analogy. And just for the purpose of our show, we have another analogy. It's like driving. So this is maybe one that everybody can relate to, whether you played sports or not. But when you go to get your driver's license, you're not getting that. And then on that next day, being a Formula One driver or a NASCAR driver. I Pray to God that you're not going right out to the track after you get your South Dakota license permit, whatever state you're in. So we're going to use that analogy. Is that a good one?
Yes.
For our show today. And we have 5 different tips and strategies for our listeners to get back to the basics in their marriage.
Right.
And I love that this is such a timely topic for this season, because a lot of you have kids that maybe are back at school and just back to that fall routine. So
absolutely.
Back to basics.
Back to basics. Michelle, sorry, quick little tangent here. It's kind of crazy that in South Dakota, you're 14 years old when you get a driver's license.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I don't know.
That's
I'm just thinking
probably really alarming for any of our listeners outside of this area that did not know that. If you live in South Dakota, your teenager can drive at 14, which at the time I felt totally prepared to do that. But now thinking our son is 4 years away from that.
I think that's what is just hitting me of like 4 years from now, he'll be driving around. Anyway, Michelle, I love the analogy. It's something that we all can relate to. So we're going to get back to basics with like thinking back to when you were 14 or 16 or however old you were of getting that driver's license, because I think these lessons can help in your marriage so much. So
I love it. And when you master those fundamentals, the other things will come. So you will be able to swing for the fence someday when you have those fundamentals.
Right. So the first thing that you need to do, right, is, and when you were, when you hit that age, right, and then you had to decide that you wanted to get your driver's license.
That's true. Some kids don't want to.
Right.
Don't have a desire.
Right.
We have some friends that their son just does not have a desire. He's fine biking and walking.
Right.
So you have to decide.
Yeah. So what's that look like in your marriage, right? I think that's identifying, what's an area that is either a problem that you want to improve on, that's maybe causing conflict, something along those lines of deciding, hey, I want to do blank differently. That could be communication, that could be intimacy, it could be finances, could be whatever, fill in the blank. But it's deciding, hey, I want this to be different.
Yeah, I love that. Committing in your heart and your mind that this is the area I want change.
Right. So that was the first step.
That's great.
When you wanted to get that driver's license, you had to decide, hey, I want to drive. I'm making that decision. Mm-hmm. So same thing in your marriages. What is that area? Decide on it. Number 2, I don't know if this, I don't know if how you did this, but number 2 was you got that manual. They probably don't have manuals anymore. I don't know.
Highly doubt it. It's probably digital, but I got the paper that's so thin, almost like phone book paper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh no, I know what you're talking
I had one of those manuals.
Yeah.
Studied it.
That is just it, Michelle. You needed to study, right? And what does this look like? As we switch this from your driving test, that you needed to study the traffic signs, you needed to study what to do, all of these things. So in your marriage, this is looking for courses, looking for books, looking for resources,
podcasts
that maybe could help in that area.
Marriage retreats, going to see someone. Maybe. Yeah.
Right. It's a time of study. Hey, what can I learn? Okay, I've decided it's this that I want to improve. Now I need to study. Now I need to find those resources that can help me.
I love that, Ryan, because it's also focused on intentionality. This stuff doesn't just happen, but it's being active in that. So you're deciding and then you're taking an active role in learning.
Yep, absolutely. So, okay, from there, you've decided, you've studied for the test. Now you need to practice. So now I am guessing, Michelle, that you didn't start driving on the interstate going 80 miles an hour.
No, when you said practice, I just had this vivid image pop into my brain. There was a downhill road. Actually, it was in that same area of town today, ironically. I just remember it was snowing, and for some reason, I thought I should like slam on the brake when my dad and I were going down. We were out practicing.
Yeah.
I think it was really scary for him. But I needed to practice. And once I went through that, I realized that was not smart, Michelle.
So I'm guessing, like a lot of people, you practice in a church parking lot. You practice in, I think for our daughter, we were in a school parking lot.
Yes. I did practice in a church parking lot though. Right. Where did you practice?
So I actually drove, my first driving was in a field.
Okay. That works too.
Right.
Farm kid.
Yeah. I'm a farm kid. So I would drive around a field, so that was kind of my first practice. Again, it's a wide open space. I'm not going to run into anything.
Right.
Although I probably did, but
a safe, clear area to practice.
Right. So it's understanding that so let's take this back to your marriage, to your relationship. You need to practice these conversations. So if yours, and I'm just going to say this because it's probably mine, is communication.
I knew you were going to say that.
Right? Like I can't expect to be like perfect at it. I need to find, okay, hey, I'm going to aim for like a 5-minute conversation with you where I'm going to share things about my day.
Sure. I'm going to share one feeling.
I'm going to share a feeling, how I'm feeling, how the day made me feel.
Or asking questions. Pastor Chris told us last week, what was it like to be you today?
Right.
It's a great question.
It's a great question. So it's finding those moments where you can practice, knowing that, hey, you're not going to be jumping in the race car yet, but you're learning, you can apply some of the things that you've learned in the study phase, and you can practice.
That's great.
I think that's a really key component.
Okay. So 1, you have to decide that you want to improve or change an area. 2, you need to study. And 3, you need to practice.
Yeah.
What's number 4?
Number 4 is the big time here.
Ooh.
It's test time.
All right.
And, in the state of South Dakota, I'm assuming most states, you have to take a written exam as well as a driving exam. Mm-hmm. So what this really...
By written, I think it's
not written.
Digital pressing options.
Yeah.
Anyways, old school reference.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, so you have to take an exam. It's a time of action. Like this is your moment to take everything you've learned, all of the studying, all of your practice, and put this into action. You need to get in the game and drive.
Ryan, did you pass yours on the first time?
Yes, I did. Funny story, Michelle.
Well, yeah, what's more to it?
Funny story. I took my written exam or my digital exam. Sorry.
I know where this is going. No, it's a great story.
Yep. I took that. I passed it. It's great. You have to come back like 2 weeks later, I think, and do your driving exam. I think is how it worked.
Okay.
I don't know the time frame. Yeah, I might have broken the law going there because I actually drove to the written exam, and the examiner even asked me how I got there, and I said that I drove. He was not impressed with that answer.
Very practical, Ryan. How were you supposed to get there? Your parents are working,
They were busy, and I had to go do this. So
you're a man that gets stuff done.
I drove the car into town to take the exam. So
clearly
I was clearly ready. So, but again, like test time, this is your implementation. Like you need to act, if this is something, let's say finances, like this is where you put things into action and you're doing it. Like it's test time.
I like it.
Yeah. So, and then the last thing, just to wrap up here, in the state of South Dakota, and I don't know, states are different, but every 5 years, you need to renew your license.
Don't wait until your birthday. You may have to drive to a city very far away and get it renewed.
Yes, that also happened to me. I had to drive an hour away because we were leaving town and I needed my license renewed.
On your birthday.
On my birthday.
How
Happy
exciting.
birthday to me. And it was a 7 a.m. appointment.
An hour away.
An hour away?
Yep. So anyways, plan ahead when you need to renew. But yes, you have to renew your license.
Yeah. Actually, just a quick, why doesn't everybody just pull your license out right now and see when it expires? Just make a mental note of that.
Your little PSA.
There you go. You're welcome. So, but what this is this is really a time, to really continue to be a learner. I think of renewal. I think of continuing to learn skills, continuing to get better at skills. And I think in your marriage, I think this is something that we all need to do every day. Is if there is a skill that is troubling for you or difficult for you, to continue to get better and continue to learn, continue to seek out resources and get better at it.
Ryan, that's great. I think that renewal time is also a renewal of your commitment to saying that I want to drive. I'm renewing my license because I want to continue to be a driver in my registered state. And I think about just the different things that we've done throughout our marriage, vow renewals and marriage retreats and doing things to renew that commitment to each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Michelle, it's really about learning fundamentals in marriage. I think we enter this thinking that we're going to be the experts on things that, really we know nothing about. I mean, we got married, right? Like we didn't come with instruction manuals.
Right. Had a couple hours of classes, but that was no preparation really for real life marriage.
Right. And so like we come into this, the two, in Genesis, the two become one. And, all of a sudden we're trying to figure this out. We're trying to figure out, we've shared so much how we're so different. Our communication styles are different. I think personalities are different. So it's continuing to be a lifelong learner and continuing to learn these fundamentals, because I think when you learn them, they're as easy as they are. When you learn them, it will drastically change the way that you approach different things in your marriage.
Ryan, will you run us through those 5 again?
Yeah.
Just really quick.
Yeah. So number 1 was you need to decide that something needs to change, right? If and again, it's identifying, hey, this area seems to cause a lot of conflict. Okay. So deciding that you want to change. Okay. That's number 1. 2, study, look for podcasts, look for resources. Maybe it's a counselor or pastor that can help you with that particular issue, whatever it may be. And then 3, you need to practice. Look at what you can do. How can you improve in that skill incrementally? Because you're not going to jump in the car and go speeding down the road, right? You need some practice. Okay. And then 4 is test time. Right? You need to act. You need to implement what you've learned and do it. And then lastly, renew. Continue to be a learner, continuing to renew your relationship, get better.
So good, Ryan. Great word, great 5 steps for our listeners to take today. And you will be maybe getting close to the Formula One anytime soon. Follow those 5 steps.
Yeah, I mean, and I think the key, Michelle, is once you learn, for me, like once I learned the fundamentals of baseball, of hitting, man, then it changes, because then you can, like, when to hit home runs and you can hit home runs and those things, because you know how to do it. It's not just blindly going up there swinging as hard as you can and hoping you hit it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's so many areas. It's like that with soccer. You have to have good foot skills. It's like that. Like you said, with driving, you can't really drive in a big city until you have practice. Right. You're not going to go out to the 5-lane highways. So yeah, work on that, you guys, and see the improvements. Ryan, do you want to do a mystery question quick?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. I have to grab it quick from the jar. BRB. All right, Patrick, cue that song. Ryan, do you want to read it? I grabbed one. But I didn't look at it yet.
You didn't look at it.
I didn't.
Okay. This is interesting.
Your forehead wrinkled.
Wrinkled up? Oh, man.
You looked concerned.
No. If you could instantly learn any language, which one would it be?
Oh, that's really random.
It is random.
I think Spanish. It feels universal. And I wish that I would have carried on after high school. I wish I would have started earlier.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I wish I could still remember more.
Right.
I remember a little bit.
Right.
But
Yeah.
what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think Spanish would probably be the most helpful. Then we could speak to each other in Spanish.
Yes. And other people.
That would be cool. I actually took German in high school, thinking that would really benefit me.
How has this served you?
Not great at all. But I know some German. So
That's cool.
yeah.
You ever go to,
Germany.
yeah.
Probably
I was going to say German festival, but, or Germany. So
I could probably pick up a few words. So, yep.
you guys, thank you so much for joining us today on the Celebrate Marriagecast. If you don't have a church home, we would love to have you. You can find us at Celebrate.church. We have online sermons there, and we also have our service times if you happen to be in the area. We hope that you have a fantastic rest of your week.
Have a great week.